If you are over 65 years old and notice that your memory is no longer the same, that you forget names, that you go into a room and simply can't remember why, I need you to pay close attention to what I am about to reveal, because this could restore 2 decades of mental clarity for you. Just over 2 months ago, Mrs. Lucia, a resident here in the neighborhood, came to my office with slow steps and that tired look that, believe me, I have seen in hundreds of patients. "Doctor, I can't take it anymore," she said with a choked voice. "I forget everything. My family thinks I am becoming senile, and at that very moment I knew I had to share this secret that has transformed the lives of many patients like her. I am Dr. Marcia, a neurologist with over 25 years of treating our elderly, and after decades of observing mental decline in my patients, I discovered something that completely changed my understanding of aging. Most people, and maybe you too, believe that losing memory is inevitable, that it is part of the natural aging process. But let me tell you one thing. This is a lie, a dangerous lie that has condemned millions of seniors to live in a kind of mental fog. And let's be honest, gentlemen, how many of us go to the doctor just because? Here in the country, the numbers are clear. Men do far fewer checkups than women. We endure. We wait until it really hurts, until there's no other way. And meanwhile, our brain silently begins to take its toll. According to data from the National Institute of Geriatrics, a significant percentage of our elderly in the country show some degree of cognitive decline. We let it pass. We think it's age, but it doesn't have to be this way. Let me tell you something surprising. In my office, I have seen 90-year-olds with minds sharper than many 40-year-olds. Do you know the secret of those grandparents from the countryside who at 90 recite entire poems or remember the price of beans from 50 years ago? It's not genetics. It's not luck. It's something much simpler. Something anyone can do right now, sitting in their favorite chair, effortlessly, without risks, without special equipment. You don't even need to get up. While I was explaining this to Mrs. Lucia, she interrupted me. "Doctor, but I take care of myself," she said. "I do crossword puzzles. I take my vitamins." And that's exactly the problem. What we think is good for the brain is often not enough. Look, when the brain ages, it doesn't need more information. It doesn't need another crossword puzzle. It needs reactivation. It needs us to awaken those areas that have been sleeping for years, like an engine that has been idle for a long time. Mr. Juan, a 73-year-old retired engineer, didn't believe it when I showed him the difference in his tests. His memory had improved by 40% in just 3 weeks. 40%! But the most surprising thing, what left him speechless, is that the secret was in his feet. That's right, you heard correctly, in his toes. It turns out there is a direct connection, a true neuronal highway between foot movements and the cerebellum, that part of the brain that controls not only balance but also memory and concentration. And this brings me to the crucial point I want to share with you today. 5 simple, free exercises that take exactly 1 minute. 1 minute that I guarantee can change the rest of your life. Because while you're sitting there thinking it's too late, that your brain can't handle it anymore, there are people your age, your neighbors, regaining mental clarity with these simple movements. If what I'm saying sounds familiar, if you've ever felt this way, leave a yes in the comments. We want to know we're not alone in this. And since you're here, give a like so this message reaches more people who need it. If this is impressing you, hold on because what's coming next is even better. And if you know someone, your friend, your brother, your neighbor, who needs to hear this, share this video. It could change their life just like it changed Mrs. Lucia's. Because what I'm about to reveal isn't something I invented. It's the result of decades of research, thousands of patients treated in my office, witnessing transformations that seemed impossible, seeing people who arrived hopeless and left with a new sparkle in their eyes. See, it's not your age. It never was your age. It's the lack of the right stimulus. It's letting the brain slowly fade, like a light losing its brightness. Mrs. Lucia understood in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 14 days, were enough for her daughter to call me crying with joy. "Mommy is back, doctor," she said. "She's remembering stories from my childhood." Participates in conversations at lunch. Even criticized me because I didn't put enough salt in the food. It's as if she's rejuvenated 20 years. But here comes the most important part. Pay attention. Mental decline doesn't happen suddenly. It doesn't warn in advance. It's silent, progressive. It begins with small signs we ignore, sweeping under the rug. You have difficulty finding a word that's on the tip of your tongue. Forget why you went to the kitchen. Struggle to keep up with a long conversation at a family gathering. Feel that you don't think as quickly as before, that ideas don't flow. Maybe attribute it to stress, tiredness. "I didn't sleep well," we say. But in reality, it's your brain sending fatigue signals, asking for help. We were in Mr. Paulo's kitchen with that smell of fresh coffee when he showed me his notebook. There, with shaky handwriting, he recorded all his forgetfulness. "Doctor, look," he said with deep sadness. "Yesterday I forgot my youngest grandson's name. Today I couldn't remember where I left the car keys." And the more he wrote down, the more depressed he became, feeling more useless. But he said something that completely changed his perspective. "Mr. Paulo, your brain isn't broken. It's just asleep. And the good news is that we can wake it up." Over time, without proper stimulation, certain areas of the brain begin to shut down, as if turning off the light switch. The hippocampus, responsible for memory, slows down. The cerebellum, the maestro of coordination and balance, loses its harmony. Circulation to the brain gradually decreases. It's like a plant that stops receiving water. It doesn't die immediately, but it starts to wither from the inside. But the good news, and I want you to remember this, is that just as a plant can bloom again with the right watering, the brain can also be reactivated. It only needs a specific and consistent stimulus. And no, we're not talking about hours of training or complex techniques that require an instruction manual, just 1 minute a day. Let me teach you the first exercise. It may seem strange, even funny, but it has a powerful neurological basis. Toe movements. Yes, I know what you're thinking. "Oh, doctor, toes." What do my corns have to do with memory? It turns out that the toes are directly connected to the cerebellum through thousands of nerve endings. By moving them consciously, we're awakening neural pathways that have been inactive for years, dusting off forgotten connections. Mr. Antonio, a 75-year-old retired teacher, arrived at the office staggering, holding on to his son's arm. He was afraid to go out alone on the street, afraid of falling. His legs were not weak, but his brain had lost the connection, the communication with the body. I suggested this simple exercise. Move your toes every day for 1 minute. At first he laughed, looking with a, "What is this doctor going to make me do now?" face. "Moving my toes will help my memory?" he asked skeptically. But being stubborn, he agreed to try. The exercise involves sitting in a comfortable chair with your back straight. Raise the toes of both feet at the same time, as if pointing to the ceiling, and hold for 5 seconds. Then lower and press firmly against the floor, as if leaving a mark on the ground. Another 5 seconds. Next, massage the floor with your fingertips, as if playing the piano for 10 seconds. And finally, open and close your fingers like a fan for another 10 seconds. In total, 30 seconds. Repeat twice to complete a minute. After 15 days, Mr. Antonio returned. He entered alone, walking more steadily. "Doctor," he said with a smile that couldn't fit his face, "now I walk more confidently. I don't need as much support anymore. And the most curious thing is that I feel my mind clearer, as if I had cleaned the glass from the inside. And it's not magic, it's science." A study from the University of Tokyo confirmed what Mr. Antonio experienced. Elderly people who practiced this exercise for 3 weeks significantly improved their balance, coordination, and also memory. And that brings me to the second exercise, one of the most important because it addresses a problem that often goes unnoticed: poor circulation to the brain. When the blood doesn't flow as it should, the oxygen and nutrients that the brain needs to function at 100% don't reach in sufficient quantity. And what is the result? A slower, more foggy mind, less alert. What I discovered afterward was even more revealing. The neck acts as a crucial bridge between the body and the brain. If this bridge becomes tense or stiff due to stress, poor posture while watching TV, or lack of movement, it narrows the blood passage. It's like bending a hose. The water stops flowing normally. While treating Mrs. Rosa, a charming 72-year-old lady, she confided in me, "Doctor, I feel my head heavy all day, as if there's a cloud inside." And when I examined her neck, it was as hard as stone. She could barely move it. I taught this gentle neck movement exercise. Do it sitting down, with your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Slowly turn your head to the right as far as comfortable, without forcing. Then return to the center and do the same to the left. Next, lift your gaze as if you want to see the ceiling and hold that position for a few seconds. Finally, gently lower your head, bringing your chin toward your chest. Everything done calmly and attentively takes only 30 seconds. Mrs. Rosa called me in 2 weeks. "Doctor, it's incredible," she said emotionally. "That heavy feeling disappeared. I can think more clearly. Even my daughter noticed I speak more fluently. And when we unblock that bridge, blood flows, oxygen reaches, and the brain responds immediately." I know it might sound a bit strange, but believe me, the science behind it is fascinating. Are you enjoying learning these techniques? Why not subscribe to the channel? Every week we bring secrets like this to keep us healthy. It costs nothing and helps us a lot. But wait, because the third exercise is undoubtedly one of the most surprising. And although it may seem strange at first, its effects have been documented. It involves moving the tongue in a specific way to activate brain areas related to language, verbal memory, and mental agility. Mr. Jose looked at me skeptically when I explained, "The tongue, doctor? Seriously?" But when I told him that the tongue is full of nerve endings connected directly to the brain, and that each conscious movement sends intense signals to the area that regulates speech, understanding, and memory, his expression changed. I saw his eyes fill with hope when I showed him the exercise. Sit with your back straight and your mouth slightly open. Stick out your tongue as far as you can, as if you want to touch your chin, and hold for a few seconds. Then move it to the right, as if you want to touch your cheek, and then to the left. Next, press your tongue against the roof of your mouth for a few seconds, alternating between pressure and relaxation. Finally, rotate your tongue in circles inside your mouth, first in one direction and then the other. Overall, this movement takes about 30 seconds. If you repeat it twice, it totals a minute. Your Jose, who had been struggling to find words, often stopping in the middle of sentences because he couldn't remember what he was going to say, began to notice changes. "Doctor, yesterday I had a full conversation with my grandson about his school. I remembered the names of his classmates. I even told a story from when I was a child. I hadn't been able to do that in months. And the thing is, this exercise is especially useful for those who feel that lately words are getting tangled, that they can't find the right terms when speaking. Imagine for a moment that your brain is like a house with many rooms. Over the years, some doors close, some rooms remain in darkness. But with these exercises, we are opening windows, turning on lights, reconnecting spaces that seemed lost. And now comes something that few people know. The fourth exercise involves the ears. Yes, the ears. It turns out they are not just for listening to gossip, but inside them is one of the most important systems for balance, orientation, and alertness of the body. They are directly connected to the brainstem. Mrs. Helena, a 70-year-old woman, arrived with constant dizziness. She couldn't walk without holding onto the walls. The family was very worried because she had already fallen several times. When I taught her ear massage, she thought I was joking. But I explained that when this area is stimulated correctly, visible changes occur. Coordination improves, Dizziness decreases, hearing becomes sharper, and the mind clears. The exercise involves sitting relaxed and holding both ears with your hands. First, gently pull upward and hold the position for a few seconds. Then repeat the movement to the sides, also gently. Next, move downward. Finally, massage around with small circular movements, as if drawing a circle with your fingers around them. In just 30 seconds, you can feel your ears warm up, your face relax, and your mind start to clear. Mrs. Helena didn't believe it when she was walking around the office without help in 3 weeks. "Doctor, the dizziness has disappeared. I can go to the market alone again. My family is amazed. But the most powerful is coming now. You can do each exercise separately, or, and this is what really makes a difference, you can combine them all into an integrated sequence that lasts exactly 1 minute. It's like conducting an orchestra. When all the instruments play together, the music transforms. I remember Mrs. Teresa, 80 years old. When she arrived for the first time, her memory was very deteriorated. She spoke slowly, staggered while walking, couldn't find the words. Her neck barely moved. She had all the symptoms together. She looked at me with suspicion. "Oh, doctor, all this?" I'm already too old for so much exercise, and I understand perfectly. 5 different exercises might seem like too much, but when I showed her she could do them all in just 1 minute, sitting comfortably and effortlessly, something in her expression changed. She started with doubts but decided to try. I showed the routine step by step. Seated, he started moving his toes up and down while slowly turning his neck side to side. Then he opened and closed his toes while moving his neck up and down. Next, he stuck out his tongue while gently pulling his ears upward. He moved his tongue from side to side while pulling his ears outward. He pressed his tongue against the roof of his mouth while pulling his ears downward. And finally, he rotated his tongue inside his mouth while massaging his ears in circular motions, all gently, without rushing. Just a minute. In 3 weeks, he returned to the office. He walked in confidently, speaking clearly, with a smile I had never seen before. "Doctor, you won't believe it. Yesterday I remembered a friend's phone number that I hadn't seen in 20 years, and I called. We talked for an hour. My daughter says I look like a different person. And this is the power to activate the entire brain at once. Because when it is stimulated fully, the body responds, memory lights up, and life becomes clearer. But wait, because there are 3 secrets that can make the results come even faster. The first secret is quite simple. Drink a glass of water before starting. You might not know, but 80% of our brain is made up of water. When we are well hydrated, neural connections work better, circulation is optimized, and the effects of exercise multiply. A single glass of water a few minutes beforehand can make the difference between a mild result and a profound improvement. Your Roberto confirmed it for me. "Doctor, ever since I started drinking water before exercising, I feel like my mind switches on faster. It's like the difference between starting a cold car or one with a warm engine. And he is completely right. Hydration prepares the ground for everything to work better. The second secret is to breathe deeply while performing the movements. Inhale slowly and deeply through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces anxiety, and delivers more oxygen to the brain. This type of breathing not only relaxes, but literally lights up areas of the brain that were turned off. It's like opening a window in a closed room to let in fresh air. And the third secret I almost discovered by accident with Mrs. Esperanza. She always did the exercises while listening to music. One day, she told me, "Doctor, when I listen to music, everything flows better. I feel more motivated." And she was right. Music, especially those songs that remind us of youth, that touch your heart, activates areas of the brain related to pleasure, motivation, and memory. Doing these exercises in a pleasant environment turns that minute into a moment of total well-being. Just as important as what you should do is knowing what to avoid. There are 3 common mistakes that can hinder your progress without you realizing it. The first is doing the exercises too quickly, as if it were just another task to complete. Remember, the brain needs calm. It needs your time. If you rush, the effect diminishes and you might even feel dizzy. Your Mr. Marcos learned this the hard way. Doctor, in the first days I did it quickly to finish faster, but I didn't feel anything. When I started doing it calmly as you taught, I really began to notice the changes. Now I enjoy it. It's my moment of the day. The second mistake is forcing the body until you feel pain. It's not necessary. These movements don't require effort, they are gentle. If you feel discomfort, stop, listen to your body, and treat it with care. Mrs. Maria wanted to stretch her neck to the limit. She thought that the more she forced, the better. But no, gentleness is the key. When she understood that, her results improved. And the third, and this is the most common, is the lack of consistency. Many people do it once, feel good, and then forget. But the brain loves repetition, routine. If you do it every day, even if just for a minute, the changes accumulate. Your memory strengthens, your mind clears, and your body regains balance. Your Reynaldo explained it perfectly. Doctor, it's like watering a plant. If you do it one day and then forget, the plant dries out. But if you give a little water every day, consistently, the plant blooms. That's how it was with me. After a month, I noticed changes. After 3 months, my family didn't believe it. Look, the truth is this. While you're sitting there wondering if this will work or not, thousands of people your age are recovering mental clarity. People who thought it was too late, that their brains couldn't handle it anymore. And now they are living with a clear mind, remembering, participating, enjoying. Donna Lucia is now playing memory games with her grandchildren and winning. So Paulo regained that sparkle in his eyes that his wife missed so much. So João sent me a photo of him and his wife celebrating their golden wedding anniversary. He wrote, "Doctor, thanks to you, I can enjoy this trip." I remember every moment, every conversation. It's like reliving it. They all have something in common. They decided not to resign themselves. They decided that age is just a number, that the brain still has much to give. And they were right. Because the brain is the most extraordinary organ we have. It can regenerate, reconnect, revive. It just needs the right stimulus. And you, what will you decide? Will you keep blaming the years or take control? Will you continue accepting forgetfulness as normal or do something about it? The decision is yours. Don't wait for a consultation to confirm what you already feel. Take the reins today. Your brain is waiting. It's ready to respond. It just needs you to take the first step. Imagine waking up in 3 weeks with a clear mind, remembering names, dates, complete conversations, actively participating in family meetings, walking confidently, speaking fluently, being that vital and incredible person you've always been. It's not a dream, it's a real possibility. And it's just 1 minute away. This step can be taken today, right now, not tomorrow, not on Monday. Today. Because every day that passes without stimulating your brain is a lost day. But every day you dedicate this minute is a gain day. It's an investment in your future, your independence, your quality of life. You don't need anything special. You don't need to spend money. You don't need to leave home. You just need to sit comfortably, take a deep breath, and start. Move your toes, gently turn your neck, stick out your tongue, massage your ears. 1 minute that can change everything. If you've come this far, it's because something inside you knows you deserve more, that your mind still has a lot to offer, that it's not too late to regain that clarity you miss so much. Listen to that voice, pay attention to it. Start today. And in 3 weeks, come back to this video and tell me in the comments how it went. Because your story might be the next one I share, the next inspiration for someone who is where you are now, doubting, wondering if it's worth it. And yes, it's worth it. Your mind is worth it. Your life is worth it. You are worth it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving yourself these minutes. Thank you for not giving up. And remember, your brain doesn't give up. It's waiting. It's ready. Activate the notification bell because in the next video we will talk about another topic that many worry about in silence: prostate health, with practical advice that your doctor wishes you knew. You can't miss it. All that's left for you to say is, go. Today is the day. This is the moment. 1 minute a day to recover years of life.